In Time Doctor, Payroll is a feature available for interactive and mixed companies. In order to access Payroll, it must be enabled and set up on the Company Settings page. Navigate to the Company Settings page by going to the top navigation, Settings, Company Settings. Find the Configuration section, then go to Use Payroll. Set this toggle to active. The Payroll page is accessible to owners and selected users only. Only the owner can select who can access the Payroll page. Using this option, select users that you want to access the Payroll. There is no need to click on any Save button, as changes are saved automatically. Now, if you look at the top navigation, you will notice that a new Payroll page is available. Please note, only owners and the users selected on the Company Settings page will see the Payroll page available to them. Let's go there now. On this page, you can set up and generate your payroll. Let's do a quick overview of the page before we start making changes. First, payroll can be generated and exported for any number of users. You can select those users in the top left corner. Over to the right, you can select a date range for your payroll exports. Time Doctor does not support automatic payroll, but does support CSV exports with various methods that are found in this window on the left side of the page. These methods include PayPal, TransferWise, Gusto, ADP, Payoneer, and manual exports. You can enable as many export methods as you want. The manual method is always available, therefore it does not need to be selected. You see this by default when you look on the right-hand side of the payment method column. The final area of the page is where you will set up your payroll information for your users. There are many options here to choose from and customize, which we will go over in just a few moments. First, let's get started by selecting the users you want to include in your payroll. By default, all users are included. To change this, you must go toward the top navigation, select the Users drop-down menu. In this case, we have some users who were just hired, and they haven't started working yet. We're going to only set our current active users. Then, you want to customize the date range you wish to export using the options on the right side of the top navigation. You can make selections based on weeks, months, or a date range. When selecting a date range, first select the start date and then select an end date of your range. Once you have the user selected and the date range, go to the payment methods in the side panel. If you know which methods you will be using, activate those at this time. You can now turn your attention to the lower area, which has pay options that you must review. You will see the user's name, then the total time and manual time this user has worked. In the next column, select what payment currency you would like for each user. Beside this, you will see a column that says Adjustment Amount. This is where you may include bonuses for things such as holiday work hours or overtime. You can also include negative numbers here, which will reduce the pay to that user. Pay rate is the amount per hour that the user is making. Use the edit icon to make your pay rate changes. It is important to note that while pay rate changes autosave and can be used across any date range, the adjustment amounts will be reset each time you visit the page or change the date range. If you're going to have fairly consistent pay rates, go ahead and set up your pay rates for all users, then add your adjustment amounts when you're ready to export each pay period. The next column shows the total final payout. This is a good time to double check your numbers. The final column is the payment method. If you have checked different payment methods, you can decide which method each user receives. Just like the pay rate, payment method also autosaves, so you do not have to enter each time you refresh the page or change pay periods. Now you can export your payroll as a CSV file, which can be uploaded to PayPal or TransferWise to make a batch payment. If you export the manual payment payroll, it will contain all of the information available on the payroll page. If you've enabled multiple payment methods, your payroll will be exported as a zip file containing separate CSV files for each payment method. And that is how you configure and export your payroll in Time Doctor. If you'd like to see a step-by-step guide for this process, you can access it in our How To Guide section. Or, for further inquiries, please contact Time Doctor support.